The most important part of self-improvement is finally gathering the courage to change. And this change comes with who you surround yourself with. You go through your early life in school, surrounded by nothing but jokers and junkies. At any given moment, they will find an excuse to drag you down. They will see you succeed and they ask you why. Come smoke weed with us. Go play video games all night. Talk on the phone. Go do this, go do that. The real leveling up becomes when you understand the power of networking and the people you surround yourself with. We all have heard the saying, you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And that cannot be any more true. For when I started this journey, I knew that I was alone. And that was the initial pain of it. Was struggling to say to my good friends, or the friends that I assumed was good, that, hey, I can't play video games all day. I can't. I would love to. All the boys are on. We're going to go play our favorite video games. Nope, I can't. Oh, you all bought weed and drinks. I'd love to, but I just can't. And you prioritize the betterment of yourself and the betterment of the people around you. So one of the most crucial parts of self-improving is the skills to gather good friends around you and have the clarity to look at them with a light. One of the earliest practices I ever did on self-improvement is I wrote down every name of my friends. Every single one. And I rated them. I rated them on what value do they add to my life, if I actually enjoy them, and if there's any cons. And when reflecting upon them, I realized out of the 20 people I could name, I had so many friends, they all rated so low. Only 2 of my friends stood out. They were Christians. They would go to the gym with me. They would want a good future for myself, and they actually want to see me succeed, compared to all the other people that were friends and all they did was smoke weed, make fun of me, or joke, and they don't see any future. And I said, you know what? Now that I've seen the value of my friends, writing them down, I only have 2 friends. Those are the people I'm going to surround myself with. Those are the ones I'm going to grow with. And I cut out the rest of them. And you can keep some of those friends. I have a friend that I've known for 7.5 years. He's kind of a degenerate. He's a good guy. He's added value to my life. But I had to go through a period where I didn't really talk to him for 6 months. I'd keep him at arm's reach. I would just straight up tell him no. Like, hey, dude, we can obviously talk on the phone for 6 hours straight. I'm going to talk to you for 10 minutes and then I got to go hang up because I'm putting myself first. Because we understand that the time that we put into ourselves only 10x's us. And every time wasted is a moment when we are not truly living up to the possibility that we could be. And then I said, how can I get even better friends? What doors can I open to meet great people? So instead of going to Planet Fitness where half the people were high or didn't know what they were doing, I paid for an expensive gym membership, like $74 a month. That's a lot. But I met good people. I met amazing people that were actually trying, that had businesses, that had stories and lessons to be told. I surrounded myself with actual winners that were years deep into the gym and they could come give me help. And I leveled up. Because it is all of the people that you surround yourself reflects you. I don't know if you've ever been in a trap house surrounded by junkies with little fatherless kids running around. That is fucking wild. I don't know why I'd ever spend time around that. And then I see my friends continue to go back to those people, which once I graduated high school, I found out, guess what? That person in the trap house, he does meth and he lives on the street. Imagine if I spent more time with him out of the virtue of my heart of, oh, I can help this person, or, oh, I can spend around with these people because they're friends. Imagine me. Imagine yourself degraded Instead, when you level up, buy those hours that people don't see. When you lock yourself into the gym for years and then you finally open up your head and then you allow yourself to socialize. It is an amazing trait when you can find someone that's a few levels up. That's the perk of watching YouTube and buying courses and all that, because you can get the core values that it takes from being in a close circle. But initially, when you can't get into those close circles, you have to form a trait that allows you to enter into that door. And a few of them are cultivating something. My buddy does trading. He gets pretty good. He makes results people can see. Other people want that. Maybe someone that's higher up says, oh, this guy's actually good. Let me bring him onto my team and teach him and we can work together. And then therefore he strings that guy up. But that is only from the initial value. When I built a 10 out of 10 physique, the doors that it opened for me was dating beautiful women and being surrounded by some of the best in shape and entrepreneurial people because they saw my frame. That's a value I initially had to do. Another one was social skills. I couldn't communicate. I couldn't record a video like this without stuttering or anything. I had to spend time and money, put my head into a book and read how to be social, to then take said book and read it out loud, to try to communicate with my actual family and get to know them. So then one day I see a guy who I just go up, I dap him up. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Looking good? Boom. See him a few more times. And then we get to start talking. And I find out he brings in $300,000 in sales every single year. And I'm like, oh shit, this guy's actually worth something. So then I go train him. I become his personal trainer. And he's telling me how to do sales, how to talk to people. And I level myself up by building a self-improvement that allowed me to open the doors. So it's not just struggling with yourself. The addictions, the pornography, the drugs, the constantly scrolling or hitting dopamine on your phone. That's good. That is something good to conquer yourself. But the whole other side of self-improvement is dragging yourself out of the pit, being surrounded by people like this. And there's a few goals you can set, is try to meet everyone in your town. Because what if you want to buy a house in your town and, you kind of mention to someone at your church and you find out he does real estate. You best friend him. He gives you a deal. He gives you the insight. You can buy a house for cheap. Or traits or skills. Or you can move and try to open up those doors. Something I realized from moving around is the quality of being in different places. Being up here in the Pacific Northwest is entirely different compared to Southern Florida or California or the Midwest. I've been in so many places. So you can find the people you can meet. And a lot of it is going out. So I tell you right now, if you're stuck on self-improvement, like you feel like you've mastered it with being good on your habits and changing who you are, the biggest thing you can do is change who you surround yourself with and acknowledge that most likely the downfalls and the times that you aren't consistent are the friends that you keep, because it is going to be fun when they say, hey, we're drinking Friday night, we're watching the UFC, we're watching football, come join us. And you might see it as a social thing, like, oh, I want to be social, I want to improve my sociability, but it's a jab in your back and your progress to go hang out with those people and take a step down. But you want to be social. But then you have to find other people. If you're a Christian, it's even going to a different church. Church is kind of fun because there is a community of a whole bunch of people. And depending how big your church is, it only takes a few weeks to talk to everyone. And it just opens up doors. You'll find the person struggling with their fitness and you say, hey, I've been in the gym for years. Let me help you. I'll do a free coaching. And if you want to continue with me, and then boom, you have a coaching partner or someone you're coaching. Or if you're a mechanic, you find someone with a broken down car by going to churches. I have an old boss that he's a contractor, and he said one of the best things was building a network through churches. So he would go to churches, not to totally like manipulate people or anything, but just to talk, to commune, to praise the Lord. But he would find and pick up those problems through a community. So what I'm getting at that is you don't have to be completely focused on yourself in this journey. You need to build the skills to go out and communicate with people, because being an entrepreneur is not just closing yourself into your bedroom and working on the computer. It's finding the people that can edit the videos, that can connect you with people that know insights. So on the 4 years that I've been in self-improvement, actually changing who I'm surrounding myself with and leveling that up has been the biggest success I've ever done, and one of the most enjoyable. But to end this video, if you don't know me, I'm Maxwell. I help teach young men self-improvement. I appreciate if you like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video.